Did you know there is a country where smiling at weddings is forbidden, where a high forehead is considered a sign of high intelligence and wisdom, and women walk along dusty roads with the same confident grace as runway models? Or that it features a unique wooden bicycle, a genius invention used by locals to transport loads along steep volcanic slopes on mountain trails? Welcome to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a place full of strange, astonishing stories that cannot be found anywhere else in the world. Get ready to discover this unique corner of the planet. In our documentary, we will explore 15 of the most unusual and striking facts about Congo, its cultural peculiarities and natural treasures. The 15th item on the list is a country with the most extraordinary geography on Earth. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is often called Africa's sleeping giant because its size is awe-inspiring. This country ranks second in size on the continent, covering over 94,449,000 square miles. Essentially, it almost constitutes a separate continent. One of its main geographical features is the equator passing directly through its center, making it the only country in the world with such a unique natural boundary. As a result, some of the richest and most diverse ecosystems on the planet are created here. Although most of the country is not bordered by seas, the Congo has a rare oceanic corridor, a narrow strip about 25 miles long along the Atlantic coast. The climate in this country is hot and humid, with up to 100 inches of rainfall annually, providing constant nourishment to the vast tropical forests, often called the planet's second lung after the Amazon. By the year 2021, the population of Congo is projected to exceed 112,800,000 people, making it the largest French-speaking country in the world. Over 250 ethnic groups reside here, speaking more than 242 languages, united by French as the official language. This diverse cultural mosaic is reflected in its vibrant identity, incredible contrasts, and rich traditions. Congo is a place that amazes travelers, scientists, and explorers from around the world. The 14th item on the list is the only tribe in Africa with elongated heads. In the jungles of northeastern Democratic Republic of the Congo lives the Mangbetu tribe, which has attracted attention for over a century. Their unusual feature is the elongated and extended heads of women, the result of an ancient Lipomba tradition that has existed in their culture for centuries. Unlike most hunter-gatherers, these people have built a developed society with a royal court, unique art, and a rich musical culture. Part 2 of 10. They are famous for their ivory carvings, painted bark works depicting animals, and handcrafted musical instruments whose sounds resemble the noise of the jungle and birdsong. It is particularly astonishing that the artists from this tribe carved star maps into ivory, illustrating constellations associated with hunting and rituals. One could say that this is a form of spiritual astronomy, an important part of their beliefs and traditions. In the early 20th century, European explorers were captivated by the beauty of the women of Mangbetu, whose photographs became symbols of African grace and elegance. Today, the practice of head elongation and bandaging, which was common in the early century, has ceased under the influence of cultural changes and legal acts protecting human rights. However, the memory of these old customs remains in the culture and stories of this people. The legacy of Mangbetu continues to live on through art, music, and oral traditions, preserving their unique atmosphere and rich culture for future generations. If you are intrigued by the unusual ideal of beauty of this tribe, leave a comment with the number 4, and I will gladly learn about your interest. Number 13. Proud women of the Red Land, located deep within the Congo. Women of this African nation are distinguished by their strength of spirit, pride, and resilience, which show in every movement and action. Walking along the dusty, vividly red roads of Central Africa, you can see the familiar scene. Women with loads on their heads, often small shops carrying baskets of bananas, buckets of water, bundles of firewood, bricks, pots and pans. Despite the heaviness of their burdens, they move as if walking a runway at a Paris fashion show, gracefully, with dignity and confident steps. Life in these places is full of hardships, but they manage to hide their fatigue, showing calm and dignity. During the day, these women take on roles as farmers, street vendors, mothers, and often serve as the chief accountants of their trading cooperatives. They speak confidently, actively intervene in affairs, and defend their interests. In some communities, women are even given the opportunity to make proposals to men, and, if the proposal is rejected, the man is obligated to return the kolim, that is, a monetary amount, or gift a chicken as a symbol of compensation. Congo is a land that is daring and memorable, filled with its own unique energy. When evening comes, women dress in bright, colourful dresses and gather under kerosene lamps. They sing, dance, and share stories. Their laughter echoes in the darkness, filling the night with a warm atmosphere and making one forget the hardships faced during the day. For American travelers, Congolese women are not only embodiments of beauty, but also living examples of strength and spirit, capable of overcoming any difficulties. And what about you? If such fearless beauty has ever inspired you, leave a comment with the number 8, number 12, part 3 of 10. The land of wooden bicycles, where in the eastern mountains of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, amidst bumpy red roads and steep slopes, one can often encounter unique inventions. Wooden chukudu. These homemade bicycles lack pedals, engines and brakes, yet are capable of carrying loads of several hundred kilograms across rocky volcanic terrain. The chukudu closely resembles a hybrid of a scooter and a bicycle, a sturdy wooden frame, manually carved wheels, a fixed handlebar, and a long platform for cargo. In the city of Goma, these inventions are seen everywhere, used by locals to transport bananas, coal, rice, and sometimes even old refrigerators. The carrying capacity of these homemade vehicles ranges from about 440 to 660 pounds, roughly 200 to 300 kilograms. Such chukudu can be built in 2 to 3 days and can serve for years if minimally maintained, using ropes, tire scraps, and leftover vegetable oil. Drivers often decorate their vehicles with paint, stickers, and bells, much like Americans customize their motorcycles or cars. Instead of legs, each chukudu is propelled by a person walking alongside, pushing off with one foot, after which it continues moving on inertia, sometimes even without touching the ground. Each chukudu is not just a means of transportation, but an integral part of a person's life. In Goma, there is a market for these wooden bicycles, and the city hosts races where participants give their inventions names and compete as if in a real Formula One. Number 11. The shortest tribe in the world is the Pygmies, an indigenous people inhabiting the deep, tropical forests of Congo. These people are among the oldest on Earth, having preserved their traditions and way of life to this day. The average height of members of this tribe is less than 1.5 meters, often around 1 meter 49 centimeters, making them distinctive and recognizable. Despite their short stature, Pygmies are known for incredible liveliness and agility. Their culture is deeply connected to nature and rich in mythology passed down through generations. Their cultural heritage is invaluable. They preserve their entire history through song traditions. Every song is an oral book recounting ancestors, their adventures, wild animals, bountiful harvests, and love. A characteristic of Pygmy culture is that they have no chiefs or hierarchical leaders. There is no one who is considered the main authority. Instead, they live in small communities where the opinions of elders and the views of children are equally valued. major decisions are made collectively, gathered around a campfire where everyone has the right to speak and share their opinions. Pygmies do not build permanent dwellings. Their conical huts, made of palm leaves and branches, can be easily erected in a few hours. Part 4 of 10. When the seasons change and the forest undergoes transformations, the pygmies simply move their lives to a new location, and such mobility is not seen as a sign of instability, but as a flexible adaptation to the environment. In pygmy culture, there is a special ritual, the friendship with the forest. When a child is born, adults introduce him to the trees, rivers, and birds, welcoming the baby into their natural family and culture. Perhaps the most remarkable tradition is the ability to heal through singing. When someone falls ill, the entire community joins voices in unison, and hymns begin to resonate to aid recovery. Believing in the power of collective songs, pygmies think that communal singing eases suffering and facilitates faster healing. This unique form of therapy has existed among them for thousands of years, forming part of their distinctive culture and spiritual practices. On the other side of the world, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, there is an incredible example of self-expression, sappers and their incomparable fashion. Amid the noisy, dusty streets and houses covered with sheet metal in Kinshasa, the capital of this country, it's impossible not to notice a man who looks as if he's just stepped off a Paris fashion runway. He wears an elegant shirt from the Versace fashion house, a perfectly fitted suit, and shiny leather Oxford shoes. This person is a sapper, one of a society where men dedicate their lives to cultivating style and sophistication. Many of them live in the poorest neighborhoods, but they spend a whole year saving money to buy a Gucci blazer or shoes made from expensive French leather. For a sapper, fashion is not just clothing, but a symbol of pride and a statement to the world about oneself. Most of these men earn their living as porters, security guards, or hairdressers, but on Sundays or weekends, they transform into true gentlemen. Then the streets become their runway, where they compete in choosing clothing colors, walking style, and individual flair. Their wardrobe adheres to strict rules, no more than 3 main colors in an outfit, always speak politely, and never get involved in street conflicts. To foreigners, such men might resemble street performers dressed in bright costumes, but to Congolese they embody dignity, beauty, and the strength of spirit, a desire to overcome any hardship. The Lozape movement is not just a fashion trend, but a powerful cultural identity, a part of the unique Congolese soulfulness. Finally, a special place in Congo's cultural heritage belongs to the art of the Hemba people, wooden statues. In the southeast of the country, along the Lualupa River, in villages made of red clay and topped with straw roofs, lives the Hemba people. Their way of life draws particular interest from scholars, as their connection to ancestral wooden figurines is considered very profound. These statues are unique monuments of traditional culture. Each piece is carved from rare, very hard wood and measures between 30 and 60 centimeters in height. Part 5 of 10. They usually depict a seated person with closed eyes and an expression of serenity and contemplation, emphasizing their sacred significance. These figurines, called singiti, are considered living carriers of the ancestors' spirits and are created with particular care and respect, regarded as vessels of spiritual power and ancestral memory. They are not simply decorations or ornamental objects. The Hemba believe that Singiti statues live alongside their families, protecting the lineage, aiding the harvest, and maintaining a connection with the ancestors. In their culture, housing such a statue is allowed only to a clan, relative, or a chosen heir who is responsible for its preservation and sacredness. During special ceremonies, the Singiti are cleansed with palm oil, after which the statue is placed on a specially prepared pedestal and addressed as a living relative. For the Hemba people, these wooden figures are not just artistic objects, but important carriers of spirituality and memory. From an early age, children are told about their great-grandparents and ancestors, using not only words but also venerable wooden sculptures filled with the spirits of the ancestors. It is worth noting that today the Hemba population numbers about 200,000. Despite their small size, the tradition of wood carving still evokes admiration and recognition in the world's major museums, such as those in New York, Paris, and Brussels. There, Singiti statues are considered some of the most spiritually rich works of African artistic heritage. Moving on to number 8, an awkward and strange wedding custom in the village of Der Congo. It is forbidden to smile throughout the entire ceremony. In some Luba and Bashi communities, the wedding celebration is a quiet and peaceful event, not as loud as in the West. The bride must maintain a serious expression, and smiling is not permitted during the ceremony. This custom may seem strange and incomprehensible to outsiders, but for locals it is deeply rooted in their culture and carries profound meaning. For them, a wedding is not only a joyful event, but an important rite of passage from virginity to the responsibilities of wife and mother. The restrained expression demonstrates the importance of maturity, respect for ancestors and family, as well as reverence for the groom's family. If the bride smiles too much or shows emotions, she may be considered frivolous or inappropriate, which is entirely contrary to Western views of a wedding. In some places, elder women specifically teach the bride to maintain a stern face. This is part of the ritual and cultural tradition. If emotions threaten to take over, a glance from the mother or aunt is enough to remind her to observe this ceremonial strictness. This custom is unobtrusive and is passed down through generations naturally, as part of the cultural heritage and identity of the people. Even in cities where many families take this somewhat more casually, the rules about not laughing during wedding ceremonies are still strictly observed in the rural areas of Der Congo, preserving an ancient tradition. Moving on to number 7. Life in Kinshasa, the largest capital city that many may have never heard of, stands out with its vibrancy and lively atmosphere. Every street here is like an open-air stage filled with sounds and movement. The city is sprawled along the banks of the mighty Congo River, directly opposite Brazzaville, the capital of the Republic of Congo. This fact is unique. There is no other place in the world where one can see another country's capital less than 2 kilometers away. This unusual aspect makes Kinshasa special in its own way, like the final chord in a musical piece that you want to hear. The population of the city exceeds 17 million people. Kinshasa is not only the political and economic center of the Democratic Republic of Congo, but also one of the largest metropolises in the world. Chaos reigns here, but there is also an astonishing harmony. Noisy streets, rhythmic music, a constant flow of people. This city is in perpetual motion in its purest form. Every aspect of life is filled with spontaneous events. Women with baskets on their heads weaving through crowded buses, teenagers breakdancing at busy bus stops, and everywhere you can feel the energy of street art and creativity. This is the essence of Kinshasa, a city where spontaneity, creativity, and unpredictability merge into a dynamic whole, creating a unique atmosphere and the beating heart of this vast metropolis. The city is famous for its traditional jazz evenings held outdoors, where renowned opera performers give concerts right on the streets and markets. While such performances in American stages usually take place in theaters and concert halls, in Kinshasa these spectacles are born from the very soul of the city and happen among its ordinary residents. An authentic cocktail of vivid impressions can be experienced by visiting the Democratic Republic of Congo National Museum during the day to explore the country's rich history and folk art. or simply get lost among the numerous winding streets of the central market, where a wealth of colors prevails. Bright fabrics, tropical fruits, shimmering handcrafted items create a unique atmosphere. And at night, the city doesn't sleep. Bars, nightclubs, and parties until dawn fill it with energy and life. The true Congolese rhythm, which permeates everyone and seems to call and move them, is an enchanting pulse that cannot be ignored. Number 8. The natural wonders of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They seem to have stepped right out of the pages of a fantastical dream. This country, with some of the most breathtaking natural landscapes on the planet, is a true place where every step feels like live footage from a documentary about wildlife. Let's start, for example, with Lake Kivu, a magnificent blue body of water located on the border between the Congo and Rwanda. But beneath its calm, mirror-like surface lie billions of cubic meters of methane and carbon dioxide, held in check only by a thin film. One can imagine this lake as a giant pressure-cooked rattlesnake or as a mixture of serenity and danger combined. Nearby, the mysterious Lake Taha adds to the sense of enigma, equally mystical and full of untold secrets. Not far from here is the Virunga National Park, home to some of the last mountain gorillas on Earth. Just looking into their eyes is enough to understand that no American tour can compare to this intimate encounter with nature. For thrill seekers, there's Mount Nyiragongo, one of the few volcanoes in the world with an active lava lake at its summit. At night, it glows brightly like a scene from a science fiction film, creating fantastical visual images. We should also mention Goma and the Akagera Preserve, hidden gems of nature, where the rarest local fauna, Aptera, reside. These wondrous creatures, half giraffes and half zebras, are found only in this part of the world and are truly a natural rarity. The 9th part is about the land of cobalt and the peculiarities of daily life in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The country holds over 70% of the world's cobalt reserves, a mineral crucial for manufacturing batteries for electric vehicles, iPhones, and laptops. One would think this would make the country one of the wealthiest on the planet. But contrary to expectations, most residents of the DRC still live on less than $2 a day. Here, miners, young men and women, descend into the depths of the earth with shovels, plastic buckets, and flashlights. This labor is often called the 21st century gold rush, but instead of gold, blue-gray stones, cobalt, are mined, a mineral capable of changing many lives and bringing new suffering. On average, one worker extracts just over £1 of cobalt per day, earning only a few dollars at local prices. During extraction, they communicate in an unusual way, passing messages through strikes on stone walls, creating their own version of Earth whispers. In the modern world, people don't always need facial recognition to identify each other. Even in dark, cramped spaces, they find ways to connect and ensure their own safety. There is a peculiar custom related to alliances. Number 4. In the city of Der Congo, women and men marry not only one partner, but also all 3 members of a twin or triplet set simultaneously. In Western countries, love is usually considered a matter between 2 individuals, but in Western Der Congo, especially in the South Kivu province, marriage can unite 3 spouses at once. If a man falls in love with one of twin or triplet sisters, he may be offered the opportunity to marry all 3 simultaneously. This is not a myth. Such a custom exists to this day, remaining an important tradition that is not considered outdated at all. Local beliefs hold that the sisters or triplets share a single soul, manifested in 3 bodies. Marrying only one of them is seen as a disruption of spiritual balance and could bring misfortune to the entire family. Therefore, to maintain harmony and equilibrium, the groom is obliged to form a union with the triplets together. In 2022, a widely publicized wedding ceremony took place where the groom, named Louis, married triplets Asha and Natalie. All three brides were dressed identically and walked slowly toward the altar to the sounds of tribal drums and inviting dances. This spectacle became a sensation, sparking a wave of discussions in international news outlets. During the wedding, each wife has her own separate bedroom, but the ceremonial rituals and festive events are conducted jointly. The entire village participates in this rare event, and the groom is considered the busiest member of the entire district. While in the USA marriage is perceived strictly as a personal matter, in Congo it is an important cultural and spiritual act, reflecting the unity of the family and its spiritual balance. In this society, marrying one person means accepting their entire inner world, emotional and spiritual, as it helps preserve overall harmony and balance. A second prominent aspect of the Democratic Republic of Congo's culture is the richness of festival traditions, which turn everyday life into colorful and vibrant events. One of the most famous is the Mask Festival, widely celebrated in the Kasai and Katanga regions. This festival is linked to agricultural cycles, initiation rites, and farewells to the departed. Participants don intricately carved wooden masks depicting ancestral spirits, mythological creatures, or legendary heroes. Unlike Western funerary ceremonies, which often take place in silence and reverence, funerals in Congo become lively and colorful performances. Dance, music, and vivid colors help transform mourning into a communal memory and a bond that unites the entire village. In Goma, a city located in the eastern part of the country, the Aman Peace Festival is held every February. It is unique in that it gathers tens of thousands of people from across the continent, united by a common goal: to send a message of unity and harmony. It is one of the largest peace and art festivals in the world, admired for its scale and the powerful creative energy it generates. Fans of traditional music especially remember the Ngoma Festival. Massive drums thunder, the rhythm spreads throughout the space, and residents celebrate the harvest, pray for rain, or solemnly mark a wedding. In Congo, music is not just entertainment. It is also a form of prayer, a memory, and a spiritual connection between the living and respected ancestral spirits. The third important aspect of life in the Democratic Republic of Congo is the cost of living, which significantly differs from Western standards. Living in DRC means facing challenges while simultaneously discovering exciting new horizons, especially for those accustomed to European or American lifestyles. For example, renting a small cozy apartment in the center of Kinshasa, the capital city, costs around $335 per month, which is quite affordable for many. Within the country, the cost of living can drop to about $300 a month. Utility expenses, including electricity, water, and waste disposal, usually range from $80 to $120 per month. Reliable fiber optic internet costs approximately $50, providing a fast and stable connection. Buying food at home from fresh products costs around 1,500 to 2,000 rubles per person per month, allowing savings without sacrificing quality. If you prefer to dine out, a dinner at a mid-range restaurant will cost only $5 to $8, roughly 70% cheaper than in the United States. Transportation within the city remains inexpensive. Public transit or moto taxis cost between $1 and $2 per trip, while renting a car or hiring a private taxi costs from $5 to $10 for a short journey. A gym membership can be purchased for $20 to $50 a month, which is quite affordable for most who want to stay in shape. Basic dental and medical services are on average 60 to 10% cheaper than in the US, although quality levels may vary slightly depending on the specific medical facility. Overall, one can comfortably live in DRC spending only around $800 to $1,000 per month, which is approximately 30 to 40% of what such costs are in Western countries. Would you like to move here at these prices? If yes, press 1, if not 0, and share your opinion in the comments. If you chose one, we will then tell you about the local cuisine. Cuisine in DRC is a true paradise with its own character, reflecting the soul of the people. If there's a place where food is imbued with the spirit of local culture, full of bold decisions, ingenuity, and unforgettable flavors, it's the Democratic Republic of Congo. The dishes are not elaborate with complex recipes, but each one is infused with taste and history that stays in memory for a long time. First and foremost, you should try the mwambe pool, which is recognized locally as a symbol of the national cuisine. This dish consists of slowly braised chicken in a rich sauce made from palm oil, with the addition of onions, garlic, chili, and the signature fermented palm paste, mambe. Locals call it the soul food for its aroma, spices, and the emotions embedded in every bite. It is usually served with a mash of taro leaves or steamed yuca, creating a harmonious and satisfying flavor. This is a very comforting dish, and in terms of taste, it rivals the best dishes worldwide. An interesting fact, in Congo, it is customary to eat with your hands rather than with utensils. The sticky dough made from yuca or cornmeal, known as fufu, serves as both bread and a spoon. It absorbs the sauce, creating a rich sensation in the mouth and revealing the flavors of the main dish. Fufu itself is neutral, but when paired with the sauce, it becomes an unforgettable pleasure. In Kinshasa, the capital city, many foreign tourists and expatriates shop at stores in the American style, but locals prefer street food. Popular snacks include indala, a crispy fried dried fish, eaten like chips, and sometimes bogue de poisson, fish steamed in banana leaves, filling the market with an incomparable aroma. These 15 facts about Derkong, which we have just shared, help illustrate how unique this country and its culture are. Which of the mentioned facts made the biggest impression on you? Write your answer in the comments. And remember, your opinion is very important to us. Be sure to watch the next video that will appear on your screen shortly. I am sure it will grab your attention and you will definitely enjoy it. Do not miss the chance to leave your feedback, sharing which country you would like to see in our future explorations and stories. Thank you very much for your time and for watching. See you in the next video, where new, exciting journeys and fascinating discoveries await us.